Okay, so good evening, everyone. And today we are going to start with this, the healing with mindfulness. Yeah, and I'm quite sure each one of you know what mindfulness is, at least by the name, by the word of the word meaning. But what we are going to do today is that we are actually going to look into some practices of mindfulness and why is mindfulness so effective. At the same time, how can you use this as an effective mode for treating self. And if at all you're a therapist or having some understanding about healthcare, then you can also integrate it in your practice and have effective results. Yeah, and let me tell you this that I have been using this modality for almost 12 to 14 years. And the kind of results that I have got is super, right? And not only just in we are not just talking about uh, people anxiety. We are also talking about major cases where I have got good results and very effective results and very quick results. Yeah, and that is one of the reasons I have also renamed my work as accelerating cures because the results are so quick and so fast, and at the same time it's long lasting. Secondly, people who are uh, practicing it, yeah, they learn a modality where they can start healing themselves, right? So that is what it is. Yeah, so wait, there are more people joining in. So Manish, you can put it on the chat, I'll respond. Yeah, that would be better. So, so healing with mindfulness. So this is what it is, and I have been using it for a lot of cases. Like, let me share this case with you right in the beginning. So there is this person who's around 50 years of age, and he's been suffering of last 9 months. He's suddenly developed this fear of swallowing food. Yeah, almost 12 months. He's been suffering of this fear of swallowing food, and he just cannot swallow. So he's mostly on
Do you
liquid.
have green moong dal?
He's mostly on liquid diet.
तो अभी जो है ये लास्ट है.
Yeah. So he's mostly on liquid diet, and not only that, it was like very surprising. And for me, this was the first time I had heard someone saying this, which I'm going to mention this. So he would eat a banana. This guy is from US, and he would eat a banana, and eating that banana would take him 45 minutes because he would put it in his mouth and would keep chewing, and he would keep chewing, and he would keep like uh, uh, making it like super fluid, liquid, and then he would be able to have it because he doesn't want to take the risk of swallowing and it getting stuck in his throat and something really going wrong. So, okay. So, everyone, can you hear my voice? Please let me know. Just put it on a, yeah. Yeah. So I was talking about this person unable to swallow it just like that. It was just fear because nothing gets stuck in the throat unless you have some kind of hindrance in the throat, some kind of tumor or whatever. I don't think anything can stop it. But the fear was so high, and he would survive only on liquid food. So there was no way he would have juices and all that, but nothing solid. And this is how he came to me. And as we were going about this person, like we were like, I started working with him directly on the whatever is happening in the throat and directly on the fear, right? And as we started working on it, slowly and steadily, right from almost second day, he said, I still get scared, and And I feel this, but the thing is that there is some amount of that panic that was there when I used to swallow, that went down. And we are talking about the first week itself. Yeah, that panic really went down. I was not panicking anymore. But I still get scared of eating food, the solid food. And even with the banana, it went on like this. And this we continued for almost a month or so, one month. And then he said, I don't feel the fear now, but I am not able to, I don't want to take it solid. The second month, and he said that the timing of eating a banana is come down to 25 minutes. From 45, it's come down to 25 minutes. We continued, and I think we just completed 2 months, March, April, May. Yeah, we are in the third month now, and last two times I worked with him when he was having the banana, and in the first session he could finish off the banana in 12 minutes. And in the second session, he finished off the banana in some 5 minutes or something. So, and I said, maximum, you can go up to 3 minutes. Like you will take at least 1.5, 2 minutes, like a big banana, 1.5, 2 minutes. And this guy is taking around 4 to 5 minutes now. So that's the kind, and he's saying, I don't feel any fear. And the most amazing part was like a small kid. You know what? I had chai and 5 biscuits. And I was like, it's almost like a small child reporting. And that was the amount of excitement he had that I had. That was almost in the second month. So this is how it is. And we have just used pure mindfulness. I have not used any medications, nor done any counseling business, nothing. It is pure mindfulness. And he is able to be a little more happier than before. When he came to me, he was completely depressed and low. And he said that I am going to try out idlis now, and I'm going to try out something else now. I want to have the whole thali. Very soon, I want to enjoy the whole thali. But the good thing is like from 45 minutes, one banana coming down to 5 minutes from and eating upma and all those things. And I have said, I told him instead of making it like a liquid, make it a little more solid now. And he started to do that. And he's saying, Rajiv, when I eat, I don't feel any fear. I don't have any fear, nor I get panicky. I don't get the tightening in my throat. Nothing. It's just a mild amount of fear that what if. But he's saying all that panic and all that and the constriction in my throat and everything just vanished. And this is like a real achievement for him. And at the same time, his wife, his sister all mentioned that he's much more happier. This was observed right in the first month. His friend said that you look much more happier, much more calmer, much more easier. And he's also a singer. He also sings. So this week he said, Raju, I'm going to take up my singing again, which I have stopped for the last 12 months. I'm going to start off my singing again and the riyaz and all that. So this is the kind of change that happens with the just mindfulness practice. Yeah. Now, this mindfulness practice, when I talk about this mindfulness practice, this is not just observing. There are certain techniques to it, which I train people in the core somatic integration workshop. Yeah. So I also train, I bring in a lot of mindfulness work in the core somatic integration workshop. Yeah. And people have seen it even in the workshop that there are big time transformation happening right in the workshop. Right in the workshop, they can see in 20 minutes, 40 minutes, there's a huge transformation happening in people. I'll be sharing the cases as we go about here. So currently just moving ahead. Yeah, this is about me. So I'm an author of this book, the book that you can see behind right here. Yeah, giving up something to receive everything. I'm a homeopathic physician practicing for almost 30 years, and I'm a counselor, health psychologist, or trauma therapist, and specializing in anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorders. So all this, mostly I use a lot of mindfulness. Even when I'm doing hypnotherapy and past life regression therapy, I use a lot of mindfulness work or body centered work. That is what I would call it, a somatic work. and that has been very effective. Somatic work is one of the most effective practices or therapies for post-traumatic stress disorder, for anxieties, and for traumas. And I'm a trainer of hypnotherapy, past life regression therapy, transactional analysis, and core somatic integration. Core somatic integration is my own therapy which I have developed in the last 14, 15 years. And when I was suffering of anxiety myself, yeah, big time severe panic attacks and all that, and the only way I could get relief was just observing what's happening to my body and my mind. And that's where I developed a therapy called post-somatic integration. And I use a lot of mindfulness, which I call as witness sensing in this work. And there are a lot of people who have done this, attended this workshop, and they have found great results. Not only that, they have been using this in their own practices, not only for themselves, but also for healing others. So it's a very powerful technique which can be easily integrated in any therapy. And not only that, anyone, even if it's someone who's not a psychologist, not a healer, not in health practices, but they can learn, and they can also use it for their own family members. That is what many people do. The first thing that they do is that they tell their family members, practice co-somatic. And there are people who practice 15 minutes every day. So this is, and they've been doing it for 10, 12 years. And one of them has got healed of her cancer ailment here. So that is how it is. And I am also a trainer of Tai Chi and Qigong. So this is something about me. So now what we are going to learn over here is going to move from how to move from being mindful to mindfulness. Yeah, most of the times what happens if you look over here, we are filled with a lot of thoughts and ideas and memories and imaginations and experiences and all those things. We are continuously filled with all that, right? Our head, our mind is totally booked, totally full all the time. Now, how do we really make a shift from being mindful to mindfulness? Now, remember, there's a huge benefit. Many people come in and they say, I am not able to remember. I keep forgetting, or I am not able to catch the right kind of word, or I'm not able to focus, I'm not able to concentrate. And this is a struggle. Now, what is happening over here when you're talking about this kind of struggle? So it's very simple to understand this. Like I generally give this example. Just imagine you have a drawer full of lot of stuff in that, lot of stuff put in that drawer. And there is also a small needle over there. Yeah, or a small coin over there. Now, will it be easy for you to find that coin or that needle or whatever you want? Is it easy? No, it's difficult. And that's what I say, that if you're quite anxious and if you're full, your mind is full, you're overthinking, you're overworrying, then it's like that the computer space, the space in the laptop. If it's full, it will process very slow, or it will hang more and more. So the same thing happens when your mind is full. It hangs. It processes slowly. You're not able to think. It will affect your sleep. And that is where it is very, very important to move from just being mindful to mindful to mindfulness. Now, what is mindfulness? What are the benefits? What are the types of mindfulness? The mindfulness practice, the healing with mindfulness. This is what we're going to learn. I'm going to show you a few techniques over here. They're very simple techniques, but they're very, very effective techniques. When you're joining the workshop, you learn actually how to utilize these techniques to actually bring about a shift in your state of mind very quickly, how you can work on your thought, how you can work on the emotions, and how you can actually bring about a shift in the body sensations, in the energy, and cause cause a complete transformation in the state of mind in the here and now. Right? A lot of people come in and they say, I have a severe backache. When we work upon it, in next 20, 25 minutes, they say the backache is gone or the throat pain is gone. I have worked with my own children when they had severe fever and all that. Yeah, almost 102, 103, and they would go through it and they would feel much better. And in the next morning, without medications, they would be up and about having no fever. So this is the kind of transformation I have seen practicing even on my family members. Yeah. So this is about mindful to mindfulness. Now, remember now when the computer, the hard disk is empty, it always processes faster and it doesn't hang. At the same time, the brain, when it is empty, the mind, when it is empty, it is used what it is meant for actually. That is being creative, not to use it as a garbage bin where we have loads of thoughts in it. No, it is basically to be used for creativity. And that is exactly what happens when you are being utilizing or practicing mindfulness. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what we are talking about. Like if it is stagnated, what happens? So this is like the dirty water. Yeah. It gets stagnated and you can see this. It's filled with the muck and it can be a breeding house for diseases, right? This is what we see, right? And it can cause a lot of disease. The same thing happens when your mind is full. It can cause a lot of stress. It can cause a lot of anxiety. It can, because the mind needs to be free. Remember, everything in this universe is flowing. Everything in this universe is flowing. In the air, the water, everything is in a particular flow, in a rhythm. And when it stagnates, it breeds germs. It can create problems. And the same way, mind is also an energy, which if it is flowing, it will have enhanced creativity, which can be used for maximum productivity, right? And if it is jammed up, then it can create problems. Problems, not just regular anxiety and feeling stuck and I'm not able to move or a confused feeling, but it can go beyond and it can, because it's supposed to flow and it is going to give you a symptom. And that symptom over a period of time can be any major disease, not just psychological. Yeah. Because with this, the energy stops flowing, the emotions stop flowing, the thoughts are not proper, they will be negative, and of course, like the stagnated water, it will cause diseases. It's very, very important to know this. Yeah, that's why freedom in the flow of the energy called mind is very, very, very important. And this is what happens when it is free. Yeah. And how does it, yeah, how does it become? It becomes like this: when there is stagnation, there is negligence. Yeah, you're not paying attention to it. This is very important. This statement is so important that when does it get stagnated? When you're not paying attention to it. And if you notice, nowadays, most of us are not aware of what's happening in our minds. Very simple, because most of us are on social media, watching TV, or into certain habits like addictions and all that. And that's one of the reasons. Why do we have that? Simply because we don't want to face what's happening within. The reason is very simple, that we have not got trained to face or confront our experiences, our emotions. If you think this is appropriate and you believe, you also agree with this, just say, write agree on the chat, that we are not aware or we are not paying attention to ourselves, we are not paying attention to our emotions, thoughts, and feelings, and what is happening to our body, because we're so caught up in distractions. We want to avoid and ignore. And it's very simple, because we are not trained to pay attention. How many of you believe that? Yes. Right. That is what is happening. Yeah. So it's very, very important that we start paying attention to what's happening. And it's very simple. See, get this. It is like it is like the lighthouse. Yeah. It tells you where that island is, or where the what the boat has to avoid. This is also like a lighthouse. It gives you signals. The symptoms are nothing else but signals of how the body feels. Yeah. Is it at ease, or is it going through some kind of difficulty? Right? Like what we call as the disease. So it's very, very important to pay attention to the body, and mindfulness does exactly that. So what is mindfulness? Very simple. I'll give you the direct definition. It's a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. It's a mental state achieved by how? By focusing one's awareness. Where? At the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So it's awareness, it's the present moment, and you're also acknowledging and accepting whatever is happening right now. Right? And now, if you have any questions over here, please put it on the chat. I will be responding to it. Otherwise, towards the end of the session, I'm going to give you time. You can put down your questions in the book or in the note, wherever you want to, and then ask later. Yeah. Now, this is what I said as I train people in the core somatic integration that is called witness sensing, which is used as a therapeutic technique. Yeah. And this is used in many, many other therapeutic modalities, because a lot of people, when they have learned other modalities, they also learn this. And what they have said is that learning core somatic integration makes all those therapies very, very effective and very fast, and makes it much more easier, because we are going in directly where the problem lies, that is directly into the emotions, or which is expressed in the form of sensations. So that is why it becomes very, very effective. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For emotions, I can agree. Awareness is absent. For thoughts, I'm overly aware of it. Yes. Do we always observe or note our thoughts? Should we? It would be helpful. It would be helpful. It is not possible to observe or note your thoughts all the time, but it is a practice, because the very tendency is to miss it. Yeah. Now, many a times what happens is that when we think like thought, I am aware of the thought. Yes, you're looking at it and you're thinking, or you're analyzing, or you're thinking that you're aware. That is what I have noticed. Yeah, because almost after practicing for almost 8 or 9 years, I realized that I was looking at the thought and I was analyzing, I was not aware of that. So this is where I started changing a lot in my work, and I started changing a lot in the therapeutic modalities and also in core somatic integration. I started becoming, I realized that I was thinking and I thought I was aware. I was not aware, I was just thinking. Yeah. So now let's look at this. This is what attention does. You say, see, when you are attentive, what happens? You are ready to clean up the muck. So this is what happened to the Ganges, right? To Ganga. Someone woke up and said, oh, we got to clean it. Or look at the beaches, at least in Bombay. Someone woke up and started creating awareness, started paying attention to it. And slowly the whole of the beach is so clean. And people are very mindful now of throwing things and all, not to throw things. There is the garbage bin over there, the pot is there, and they all put it over there. So a lot of good things are happening, because people are just being mindful. So same way, cleanliness. It's so purely flowing now, so simply flowing, so easy to, and so clean to look at. And that's what happens, and that's exactly what happens in your mind and body also. Just being mindful allows that flow to happen, right? Before we go over here, I want you to do one small exercise. Yeah. Yeah, I want you to pay attention to your breath. I want all of you to just pay attention to your breath at your nostrils. Just pay attention to your breath at your nostrils. You're not breathing in hard, you're not breathing in, you're not trying to drag in your breath. Just very natural breathing. Do not analyze anything. Just observe how it feels as you breathe in and out of your nostrils. Yeah. And now become aware of your breath and slowly you may open your eyes. And just write on the chat, what is your experience? What did you notice? What did you notice in your breath? You put it on the chat. Brain muscles suddenly retracting. Very good. Calm. Where did you feel the calmness? Experiences cool air above the upper lip. Yes. More flow throughout the body. What kind of flow? You felt some kind of energy flowing. Yeah. Calmness. Yes. Very good. Yeah. Better concentration as focused on breath. Very good. Felt calm. Very good. So you notice what happened and felt grounded. Very good. So what happened over here? Very simple that starting to pay attention to your breath. Many of them struggle in day-to-day life saying, oh, I am not feeling comfortable. I am not feeling okay. And I am uh, not feeling happy or I don't feel at peace. This is like a simple practice just to bring you at peace anytime and every time. In fact, I tell my clients, I tell my students also that you don't have to sit down to practice mindfulness. You can do it anytime, even if you're watching TV, even if you're walking, even if you're talking to someone, you're listening to someone, you're eating. When I was practicing Tai Chi with my teacher, I've been practicing Tai Chi and Qigong for last 25 years. And I've been training people in almost 3, 4 years now. And so I tell, but this is what my teacher said that you have to just practice this, paying attention to what's happening to your body anytime and every time. So even when you're eating food, when you're bathing, when you're walking, when you're practicing, all the time. And with that, it has become a practice. It's become a habit. And I can still tell you that it is not that I am able to do it 24 hours. No, it's not possible. I keep losing it. I keep missing it. So there's nothing wrong in missing it, but practice coming back. to your breath. That would be very helpful. Now, all these habits and patterns, remember, they are very automatic and unaware. That is the pattern of a habit. Yeah, that we are, it is automatic and unaware. Why is it called a habit or a pattern? Now, why does it become a habit? Very simple. Initially, you might start off with something where you did it, and there is a neural pathway that forms, or there's a neuron that fires. What are neurons? Neurons are, so let's understand the nervous system. Yeah, the nervous system is made up of nerves and all that, and like the electric lining, there are wires and all that, and then at some point there are 2 points that come together. Yeah, and then you connect it, and then it passes on the current to the other wire. So same way this happens, but in this there is a point where it connects, and this connects, and there is a signal given to the other part, and then it picks it up and takes it ahead. Same way. Now what happens whenever you are doing something good or bad, for the mind and the body, there is nothing good or bad. It's just some action or some thought or some feeling or some emotion. When it happens, it triggers some kind of some nerves or some neurons, and that firing happens, it picks up the signal. Now as you keep doing it, it keeps firing, and now it becomes a neuro pathway. Means it's like a, initially it was a kacha road, now it's become a pakka road. Now anyone and everyone can walk on it, yeah, with ease. Same way it becomes easy because it's been firing for a long time. And that's why there are so many things, and there are so many good things happening with habits, like kind of you eating food, you don't think. You can talk to someone, you can be on the phone, you can watch TV, you can walk, you can do anything, and you can still eat because it's become a habit, right? Or so many things. Driving, yeah, and cooking. So there are so many things that you are doing without knowledge. Yeah, and that is what, how it's a helpful, because you don't have to rethink or re-strategize or work on it again and again, and uh, try to activate it every time. It is an automatic habit. Yeah, and it happens unaware. This is the same thing with patterns. They just happen. If it's good, it's great, but if it's not good, it's a problem. Yeah, and that's what happens. So many people are not able to get over their OCDs because it just keeps happening and they don't know what to do with it. I was just watching. I was just I was I had this client today. She's a 23, 24-year-old girl, and she's like, she keeps talking to herself. She keeps talking to herself, and it is like there's a pathway that is created, and she's angry about things, and now that has created a pathway, and she keeps saying things to all those people. Yeah, and now it's become a habit, and she doesn't even know when she starts and when she has to stop. It just goes on and on, right? And what is really helpful in this case is also that the person become aware that I'm doing it. This is one of the ways you can actually interrupt it. So these are habits and patterns. Now look at your own habits and your patterns, which you think you want to change. I want you to put it on the chat. One small habit you think you want to change. Why I want you to write it over here? Because so that you become aware that I'm going to work on this even after this session. Yeah, you can just put it one small thing, or at least write it in your book. Yeah. It could be fear, it could be anger, it could be sadness, or it could be self-doubting, right? Very good. Having high expectations, very good. Very, very good. Complaining, yes, very good. Excessive social media, yes, very good. My mind runs fast with thoughts when angry, need to control it. So let's turn it around a bit, Rachna. Instead of saying want to control it, I just got to be aware of it or mindful of it. Let's put it like this, because you don't need to control. The more you try to control something, the more it will go out of hand. Right? So we have this, like I use this quote often, that the more you try to change something, the more it stays the same. And more you allow it, more it changes. Okay, there's a technique to it. Yeah. Needing to feel appreciated. Yes, very good. So you have to just become aware of this. Yeah. So just write down that all this, or maybe it could be a smoking habit. I have had a lot of people who have given up on their smoking habits just using this. Addictions. I have a lot of students or children coming to me who are like kind of 20, 21, 22, and I train them in this mindfulness techniques like the core somatic integration, and they are much more capable of giving it up. There are a lot of people who have given it up. There are people who have given up. This is just one of cases where that person has given up. Okay, so I have worked with a lot of other people, especially smoking, alcohol, and all that, and there are a lot of changes in there, right? And many of them over, and I don't tell them to stop. I never force them to stop. I never mention that they have to stop. But over a period of time, over a few weeks, they come back and they say that we have been able to reduce it, and some of them have just stopped it. One of the kids who was 20 years old, he actually stopped meeting his friends who were doing weed along with him. He says, if I stay there, I will start up again. I have stopped it. So this is what you have to do. Okay. So what is mindfulness? We did this. So now remember one thing, what are you doing? Generally, what are we doing with people? We are either judging. So whenever there's anything happening, we are either judging, or what we do whenever we are either resisting in life, yeah, any kind of situation, any kind of person whom we meet, we are judging, or we are resisting, or we are reacting to them. Yes. So you are either judging people or situations, or you are resisting people or situations, or you are reacting to them. Right? This is what we keep doing. And this is a very automatic, unaware habit. Now, how do we know that we are reacting? Right? Many a times we are not even aware that we are reacting. That is why we call it a pattern or a habit, because patterns and habits are generally unconscious. Yeah, are generally unconscious. You're not conscious of it. Now remember, when you make it conscious, then rest of it, the mind can take care. Remember, your body knows how to heal itself. What you need to learn is how to pay attention to the body such that it can heal itself. I'll repeat this, the body knows how to heal itself. What you need to know is how to pay attention to the body such that it can heal itself. So the mind also knows how to heal itself. You got to know how to pay attention to what's happening in the mind. The mind will heal itself. And that is exactly what I do with most of the people who even come with horrible habits or even addictions and all that. Simply help them learn, apart from the therapy, of course. I also help them learn how to pay attention, because they have to be self-reliant. They don't have to depend on me. Yeah. And that is where the change occurs, because they are self-reliant and they develop that confidence that they are capable of dropping it on their own. Right? So how are you finding this till now? All this information, and how are you finding it? Useful? Please put it on the chat. Yeah. In the meantime, what is mindfulness about? Mindfulness is about paying attention to what is, right? Paying attention to what is. Mindfulness is about being responsible for what is. Now, this is what we don't relate to mindfulness as. Why do people change when I train them in the therapeutic modality, core somatic integration using mindfulness? What is happening over there? See, anything and everything can change when you pay attention. It's almost like you have dirt in your house. If you're not paying attention, like the teenagers, many of the teenagers, they keep throwing things around and they just walk away. They don't care because they're not paying attention. But as you grow up, right, at your place or your workplace, what do you do at your home or workplace? You pay attention and immediately you want to clean it up or you want to organize it. So paying attention at the same time, you are also responsible for it. So mindfulness requires paying attention and being responsible, and that is what it inculcates. Also, mindfulness is about acknowledging and accepting of what is, and it is allowing the way it is. This is what we practice in Tai Chi and Qigong, okay? Or just allowing things the way they are, and it changes, right? So this is quite intriguing technique. At the same time, it needs a good amount of practice where you are allowing things to happen, and things happen without you doing it because you're doing what is required at that particular time, and then you're allowing it to happen. So this is how it is. So mindfulness is all about allowing things to happen because the changes happen only because you're paying attention to it. Now, this could be a bit surprising and you're wondering how you're doing it. It comes with good amount of practice. Let me tell you this. I will keep repeating this because what it requires will be very, very helpful. Katas in, you're talking about the martial arts? Katas are generally, yes, it can be, it is helpful, but at the same time, why do you doing the kata and how you're doing it? That's very, very important. Yeah, it's very, very important. Now, if you're doing it because I want to take revenge and I want to beat up people, then maybe you're not even aware of your thoughts. You're just focused on the anger. So everything in this universe is just about what is your intention of doing something. Here we are intending using mindfulness to pay attention to what is so that we are taking responsibility to heal it. So that is our intention. So in all my work, even in Tai Chi and Qigong, which I teach under the banner of moving stillness, the intention is how do we become, it's like mindfulness, awareness, and healing. Yeah, it's all about awareness and healing, awareness and healing, awareness and healing. And that is what I am also talking about. That is what I'm talking about even here, about awareness and healing. It is about dropping your resistance. The more you resist, the more it persists. The more you accept, the more it transforms. The more you resist something, the more it persists. The more you accept, the more it transforms. Being with your bodily experiences transforms. This is exactly what I am talking about. Yeah. That when you are being with your somatic experiences, it doesn't matter what kind of it is. It is coming from a trauma, it is coming from some anxiety, or it's coming from as a pain. You got to pay attention. Now, why do we have pains? Most of the people shun pains. They immediately take medicines and they say, oh, it's a bad thing. You should not feel pain. My dear, you should feel pain because that's the only way you know that something is not right or you're not at ease. And it's only in pain that you are willing to change something. Suppose your business doesn't go down and you're not paying attention, even if it's going down, you're not going to do anything. But only when it's going down, you feel a pain of it going down and you start figuring out, you start brainstorming, you start talking to people, you start taking coaching, mentoring, do something, you start reading books, you go and focus on it, you try to put it down on paper, you do something about it because it's going down and going down is painful for you. So pain is a very, very good sign. Do not say pain is bad. Don't stop or don't push down the pain. It will come up badly. Yeah, and it will hurt you badly. So the more you resist, the more it persists, the more you accept, the more it transforms. Being with the bodily experiences transforms. Now, what is mindfulness about? It is about taking responsibility of your emotions, reducing the blame game and victim card play, and makes you less judgmental. It brings you in the present moment. It enhances awareness of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, and makes you more accepting and more flowing. So it is about taking responsibility of the emotions. There are so many of them who come to me, and then this I'll just share this. There's this. There are two cases rather. There is this lady who comes to me, and she talks about how difficult her marriage is. Yeah, so I work a lot with marriages. Yeah, and I have major breakthrough results in almost all cases who stay with me. And if they stay with me, it's 100% results. I guarantee them that. Yeah, in any and every case of any bad case, even bad cases of relationship. So now this person comes in and she's just talking about how horrible the relationship is, and how the husband is creating so much of trouble for her in the marriage, and because of him she's unhappy, and his habits are like that. He gets angry, he gets upset, and all those things. Yeah, and he expects that things should happen in a particular manner, and she's saying, I can't handle this, I cannot do this, I have my own way. All agree, but all the time she's blaming, and then she's blaming her mother-in-law, and then slowly and steadily as I go about, she's blaming her siblings for not being happy in childhood, and then she's blaming her mother and her father for having a bad marriage themselves. And all I could see was she was complaining and blaming, complaining and blaming, complaining and blaming. Till the time we came to a point where I said, how do you want your marriage to be? And she says, I don't know, but I want it to change, and I want it to be a good marriage. This is what I always had visualized, that I should be having a good marriage, but this is never happening. And when I asked her to pay attention to what she's doing, by whatever the way she goes about and the way she operates in her mind, and at that time she started becoming aware that she was only looking at the husband as the problem, as the world as the problem, her family as the problem. And she was not even aware that it was her perspective that she was living out, and she was actually creating people like that. She was not able to see the good points of her spouse or the other people, how they were supportive. So I'm talking to you also about this case who called me up when she had cancer. And she was sounding very calm and relaxed. And I was surprised because she said, Rajiv, I have cancer. So I asked her, okay, so now what? And she says, I am calling you up because you had told me a long time back that you're going to have a very bad disease. So I am not surprised now that I have cancer. So now I understood that why she was not troubled or not hassled by the fact that she's got cancer. Because she was like, I had forewarned her that she would get something very dreaded. And I think I mentioned it that it would be more of a cancer, because the way she went about, there are certain emotions that play up, and we can almost predict that what is the disease that is going to happen. Yeah, not always, but you can just. So this is what happened, and she said, "What have you been doing?" She's saying, "I was just paying to all this attention to all the emotions that I had, and I realized that I have so much of non-forgiveness towards my husband and towards my in-laws and all the people." And she called up, before calling me up, she called up all the people. She made a list of all the people whom she was so angry with, she was so upset with. And she says, I called up all of them and I started asking for forgiveness. And this call to you comes after 2 days. only after I call them, and I'm feeling much more calmer, much more easier, much more relaxed. And she was teaching dance to a bunch of kids, and she said I just couldn't because I was feeling so tired. And but the only thing I do is that every day I do practice 15 minutes of this observation, this witnessing, and the core-somatic, the mindfulness story. And she says I do it every day, and I've been doing it for almost 10 years now. Every day she practices, right? And in 2 or 3 months, she said that I have restarted my dance class, which I had stopped for many months because I was feeling so weak and tired and drained out. So she started training people again in the the Bharatanatyam dance that she was teaching. And it was like matter of 4 or 5 months, she had all the students back. And not only that, she was much more smiling, much more happier. And at some point, she came back again and she says, I don't have traces of cancer. So this is the kind of change. I'm not saying that this is the only reason, but of course, it played a huge, huge impact, had a huge impact on the way she relates to people and the way she operates from, the perspective that she has about it. So mindfulness can be very, very helpful in many, many areas. Mentally, you are able to confront what's happening. And that is what is the key. Because till the time you don't confront something, you cannot heal it. And that is what it does. Yeah. So let me bring back the share. So I have seen a lot of people, their marriages getting saved just because they are practicing being aware of what's happening. Yeah. So I would, if at all there's a problem, I would recommend it, take it up. Yeah. Or if you think you can't handle it, make it a point to meet a professional. Yeah, especially a holistic therapist who practices more of this kind of work, who are more into uh, helping you understand your emotions and accept them. That is what I would recommend. Yeah, because that is very important. How to keep practicing mindfulness when you reach saturation point practicing it. I don't think there can be any saturation point. You cannot see ever the ocean becoming quiet. Yeah, or one day it will become quiet. No, it just keeps moving. Mindfulness is the same thing because it keeps happening. Yeah. The saturation point is like when you're getting frustrated or something, then you have to observe the frustration because behind that frustration is some emotion or some memory or some experience which has been undealt, and that is what is causing the frustration. Thinking that this is a saturation point. Yeah, but it's like you're just looking at the ocean. It just comes up, and at one point it comes from here, it comes from here, it goes in the center, goes up and down, and that's what something or the other. And let me tell you, if you actually practice mindfulness over a period of time, this is what I tell people, is that there's so much of work, and you'll never get bored. You will never get bored. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. Okay. See, I wake up very early, and there are a lot of people who struggle to get their sleep. So I also had certain issues with sleep and insomnia and all that. But it doesn't matter whether I wake up at 3 o'clock or 3:30 or 4:30. People say, "Oh, I want to go to sleep again, and I'm not able to get sleep for next 3 hours." I said, "Sit up and do something." And what you can do is just watch your thoughts and feelings. And over a period of time, it doesn't matter. There's so much of work because you don't even realize that you have passed through 1 hour or 2 hours. And you're also helping clear up your mind. That is what is very helpful. Yeah. Okay, so just let us move ahead. Okay. Now, what mindfulness does is it reduces anxiety, relieves chronic pains, induces sound sleep, calms mind and body. Yeah. And it decreases stress and integrates emotions, integrates the mind and body. So it's very, very important. And this is just the beginning of everything. Huh? Yeah. Because when you're dealing with stress, Because everything, every disease that happens, any and every disease, it's only because you have not been able to manage the stress properly. It is some simple pain or discomfort, or it could be a cancer or any autoimmune disorder. You have not healed your stress. So mindfulness helps you heal the stress. And of course, there is a there's a disintegration of your mind and body. Yeah. And we get into our minds while we have to be in our body. And the mindfulness, as you practice, it integrates them. It's like they are both working in harmony, and that's what helps reduce the disease. Right? What are the benefits of mindfulness? Let's do this, and then we'll do a small exercise, and I'll just check if there's someone who's there who wants to share. Take that sharing. So benefits of mindfulness, we already talked about. It helps objectivity, tolerance, equanimity, improved concentration, mental clarity, emotional intelligence, enhances kindness, acceptance, and compassion. Now it helps objectivity because as you're observing, you're also learning to, you're becoming aware of your emotions. Why do you have reactive habits? It's simple, because you're not being objective. Yeah, you're not being objective. So here you're being objective, and once you're objective and you are able to observe your emotions, now you are in charge. Now remember one thing, that if you are able to become aware of something, you are in control of it. If you're not able to become aware of something, that non-awareness object will control you, and that is where your tolerance and your equanimity will go up. Of course, we know this, as the mind clears up, your concentration, your mental clarity, your emotional intelligence definitely goes up. And also, this is very, very important, which has really helped me. That is enhancing kindness. Yeah. Uh, Enhancing kindness, acceptance, and compassion. Uh, uh, what is objectivity? Someone is asking me. So basically, get this, that you are able to see things from outside. That's objectivity. Yeah, you are able to maintain your rationality and observe it. It's like if you are looking at me from outside, like the way you're looking at me, then you are being objective about it, right? So you are able to take something like an emotion or a feeling, you're able to keep it in front as if you're keeping, and you're observing it. That is being objective. Subjective is what? It is happening in your body, right? So it's like when I'm angry and people say that I'm not able to think because that anger has become subjective. But you say I was angry and I was looking at my anger. I knew that I'm angry, but I chose not to. That is objective. Is this clear? The third person perspective of ourselves can be objective. Yeah. Is it clear what is objective? Yes. Great. Thank you. So, and it enhances, this is something that has really, really helped me, enhancing kindness, acceptance, and compassion. So coming from a point where I would be a bit more reactive, more upset, more angry easily, and having a lot of expectations from a lot of people, including myself, big time expectations, this was one of the biggest changes that happened, that I was started to become a little more kinder to myself, softer to myself. I became more accepting of my mistakes and habits and all that. And I developed more of self-compassion and also developing compassion for others. So this was, like, I would say, the biggest gift I got, or I gave myself, just because of practicing mindfulness over a period of time. It reduces rumination, the repetitive thoughts. It reduces stress, and it is less emotional reactivity, and it brings in relationship satisfaction. I would guarantee you that there will be a shift in your relationship if you practice mindfulness. 100%. It enhances humanity. Okay. Before we go ahead, let me. Okay. So there is Ashish. You're there, right?
Yes, sir. Always.
Hi, hi, hi. You want to
Hi,
share?
sir. Pranam. No, so
Just,
basically,
just a
sir,
minute. Just.
first of all, this beard is
Oh.
gonna become chikna hai.
I would not have recognized you, boss.
सर माय वाइफ डिड नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज मी वंस शी केम बैक फ्रॉम हर इन लॉ, मतलब घर से वापस आई है उसके बाद बोली ये क्या कर लिया तुमने, फिर से गड़बड़ कर दिया। एंड बट दिस टाइम आई एम बेटर।
एक काम करो, पहले आपका वीडियो बंद करो। So this is what Ashish looked like maybe a month or two back. Oh, that's awesome. I can tell you, मैं रास्ते में देखता तो नहीं पहचानता, नहीं
सर
पहचानता।
मेरा मेरे बहुत सारे लोग हैं सामने से निकल गए जिनको मैं झप्पियां पाता था, सो अब वो सामने से निकल जाते हैं, वो बोलते हैं कि यार 3 बार इग्नोर कर दिया, फिर देन आई हैव गॉट टू गो बैक टू देम एंड टेल देम कि भाई आशीष है। अरे बहुत
Great.
मजेदार है।
Ashish, tell me you wanted to say something.
Sir, basically, guys, I have been following Dr. Raji for the last 1.5 2 years, and इतना खिचड़ी बना रखा था ना जिंदगी का, तो मतलब दिस इज समथिंग विच आई वांटेड टू शेयर, क्योंकि ये मैं इनको गुरु वाला दर्जा देता हूँ। तो जितनी बार ना मैं लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम में अटका, माइंडफुलनेस सब कुछ मैंने, क्योंकि इंटरनेट से मैंने बहुत ज्ञान ले रखा था। आई हैड, मतलब इंस्टाग्राम, किताब विताब, कितने चीज नहीं पढ़ रखा था, एंड ये मेरे को हर बार बोलते थे कि भाई सब कुछ छोड़ दे। तो ब्रीदिंग के भी ना 25 तरीके के वैरायटी अपने पास समझ में आ रखे थे कि यार ये वाला करना है, ये बॉक्स करना है, ये करना है, होल्ड करना है, झटका करना है, जितने चीज होता है आई हैड ट्राइड, बट द रिजल्ट विच आई गॉट विद डॉक्टर राजीव, बिकॉज आई हैड बीन कंसिस्टेंट, कि मैं बोला कि यार एक बंदा ना मेरे लिए टाइम निकाल रहा है, वो मेरे को 5 मिनट भी टाइम दे रहा है ना, तो एंड जो बैकग्राउंड से आ रहे हैं, सो एवरीथिंग आई जस्ट टुक इट इन स्ट्राइड, की किस्मत सब कुछ, कि जो मेरे रास्ते पे आ रहा है वो एकदम सही आ रहा है। तो ever since the last 1.5 years, my entire बॉडी में टाइटनेस, पेन्स, जो भी इश्यूज चलते थे, एंड जो माइंड को स्क्रू अप कर रखा था, एंड आई डिड नॉट इवन नो दैट आई हैड एंजाइटी, बिकॉज अपने को तो एंजाइटी हो ही नहीं सकता है, अपने को स्ट्रेस और डिप्रेशन तो नॉर्मल है, कोई फाइट नहीं है। बट व्हेन डॉक्टर राजीव गेव मी दोज पॉइंटर्स, जैसे अभी ना चार्ट दिए सब कुछ है, व्हेन आई वेंट थ्रू देम लाइक 2 3 टाइम्स, तब समझ आया कि जितना मैं मस्त बोल रहा हूँ ना अपने आप को, उतना है नहीं। एंड आई एम ऑलरेडी 42 नाउ, बट एट दैट टाइम जो मैं सोच रहा था ना, ये अपने जवान है, तो रियलाइज हुआ कि भाई बॉडी जिस बैंड बजा रहा हूँ मैं, 1 2 साल में कोई बीमारी पाल लूंगा। सो राइट नाउ आई एम टोटली फिट, बेटर, माइंड इज मच मोर बेटर, माई रिलेशनशिप्स आर बेटर, माई इनर पीस, कॉन्फिडेंस, दिमाग, सब कुछ ना एकदम इम्प्रूवमेंट जोन में है। क्योंकि पहले ना सिर्फ ऊपर ऊपर से बोल रहा था कि अपने तो ठीक है, बट जब किया ना तब रियलाइज हुआ कि बहुत सारी चीज जहाँ स्क्रूड अप है उसको मैं देख ही नहीं रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मैं कन्वीनियंस पे चल रहा हूँ ना, मैं चल रहा हूँ डियर, एकदम फियर से, ये जितने पुराने चीज है। तो आई वुड सजेस्ट जो भी डॉक्टर साहब बोले वो आप देख लेना अपने उसमें। दिस इज नॉट अ सेल्स पिच एट ऑल, आई जस्ट लव दिस मैन, सो आई हैव कम। अभी मेरा कॉन्फ्रेंस चल रहा है, यहाँ पे बैठा हूँ मैं भी कॉन्फ्रेंस के अंदर में, तो मैं उधर छोड़ के 2 3 बार तभी आया कि मैं बोला देख लो, मेरे को कुछ बोलना है, क्योंकि इतने अपने स्क्रू डालना। हम लोग को सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम ये है एज इंडियंस, मेरे को ये समझ आया, हम लोग को लगता है थेरेपी या कोई भी चीज करना ना आफत है, लेकिन जो जरूरत है ना आज के दिन के अंदर में, सुबह से शाम, सुबह 6:30 बजे उठता हूँ, रात को 2 बजे सो रहा हूँ, 12 1 बजे सो रहा हूँ, बैंड बजा रहा हूँ, किस लिए बजा रहा हूँ यही नहीं पता, रिलेशनशिप क्या है यही नहीं पता, बच्चे के साथ क्या है, कुछ नहीं जिंदगी में समझ आ रहा था। मैं तो बहुत ज्यादा बिगाड़ रखा था, बाकी तो यहाँ सुधरे हुए लोग होंगे। नहीं, बट थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब।
Thank
चलो
you.
मैं
Yeah.
इस वाले कॉन्फ्रेंस को भी जाऊं, वरना ये कूट देंगे मेरे को। राइट सर
Yeah.
जी, थैंक यू।
Bye. 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 So this is just one of like what we are talking about. One of cases that or one of the people who came in and shared this. Yeah. At the same time, there are many people who have developed not only a sense of matlab, better immunity is one of the things that you can develop. And of course, once you become aware, there are lot of changes that you will start noticing. Now remember, the whole of the universe is only about functioning, is about you being in awareness. The way you operate, the way you look at it, it's your perspective, it's creating the universe. And when you become aware, you know what are the dysfunctional thoughts and feelings that is creating the kind of uh, world around you, and that is how you are creating your future also. So you owe it to yourself to be mindful and pay attention to what's happening. You owe it to yourself. Let me tell you. And you You deserve a life of power and freedom. You deserve a life of happiness and joy. You deserve a life of success and prosperity. But most of us are not even aware. And even if they are successful in prosperity, the way people mention talk about success and prosperity, most of them are not happy because they are not in harmony with within themselves. And the simple reason is that they are not aware of what's happening, they are not mindful of what's happening, and they can just change it. Let me tell you, what's wrong in being happy? Like, and if you have a lot of money, if you're not happy, it's useless. And I can assure you that if you have the money, you are successful, you are prosperous, you can also have a lot of happiness and joy. You should enjoy all the worlds at the same time, not this or that. Like what we generally have this that if there is a lot of money, I'll not be happy. That's not true. That's not true at all. You can have a lot of money, you can have a lot of wealth, you can have a lot of success, and you can be happy and joyful and enjoy great relationship. And that is what I advocate, and that is what I train people in. So this is what is happening here. So let's go ahead. The body is designed to heal itself. It simply needs your attention to activate and maintain the healing process. Your attention aligns the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, and that's how it starts healing. And how you pay attention to it matters a lot. I just told you this. How you pay it, where do you operate from? What is your perspective? That matters a lot. But then it's not just what is the what you are operating from. You got to be aware where you're operating from. That is very important. If it's a faulty or a victim perspective, then suffering and pain ensues. When you are coming from a healthy and evolved perspective, it heals and enhances life. You have to understand this. Once you're capable of understanding this and start understanding that your attention aligns the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, I guarantee you that you will start making that change. You will start making that change that is required. Yeah, let's do some breathing. Okay, any questions till now? We'll just do some questions, then I'll show you one more type of breathing. We will not do the center breathing, we'll do the body breathing. Yeah, that is very easy to practice. Any questions? I'll take the questions and once we are done this centered, once you are done the breathing, again I'll take you through. You can keep asking questions and then we'll stop. How it affects spiritual beliefs? Same way, I was just going to say that 2 minutes back, that with all that relationship and everything I said, see, everything about you is just the spirit. Spirit is nothing else but the energy. And more clearer the flow, the more you are spiritual. Spirituality is not about how much time you sit down and you meditate and all that. It's just about you are able to reconnect to your own self. And once you reconnect to yourself, the flow of energy happens. And I believe that's what is spiritual. Yeah, you're being in touch with your spirit. And of course, mindfulness helps reconnecting to your spirit. And of course, your beliefs also start changing. The more clearer you are, the more you are in touch with yourself, the more your beliefs get clearer, calmer, and cleaner. And that makes you more spiritual. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and just practice, just do this small practice. So I have showed you something which you can practice on and off, but on a regular basis. And even this practice, you can do it anytime, anywhere. Even when we are sitting and I'm talking to you, I can be aware of my whole body right now without even anyone noticing it or interfering with anything or interrupting anything. You can just go on. That is the kind of practice that I do and I train people in. Now, as I said, this is all like helpful. But if you really are having an issue, I would recommend you to go to a professional, take support. And now, just doing mindfulness doesn't mean that you stop all your medicines and all. No, Always consult your doctor, your therapist before doing anything that you're already doing. Okay, like you're already on medications and all, don't stop anything. Yes, I have a lot of psychiatric cases are coming from psychiatrists. We work in tandem. At the same time, the psychiatrists over a period of time, they are able to reduce the medications, which generally they find it so difficult because they are not able to stop it, but they are able to reduce it, and over a period of time they are able to stop it. So this is what is possible, but I would recommend that always meet a professional therapist or a counselor or a psychologist. That would be very helpful. Okay, so now I want you all to just close your eyes, or you can keep your eyes open also, that's not a problem. And now paying attention to the breath the way you learned it earlier, just paying attention to the breath at the nostrils, breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Remember, it's a very natural breathing. You're not putting in efforts in your breathing. It is just very natural breathing, breathing in and breathing out. Now, this is one of the practices that we generally use in Qigong. Yeah, Tai Chi and Qigong in moving stillness. And when you breathe in, now just imagine your whole body is filling up with air. And as you breathe out, the whole body is like now relaxing and the air is being let out. And as you breathe in, you feel the body being filled with this air right from the head to the feet. And you are becoming aware of the whole body, all the sensations in the body. As you breathe out, it's deflating, as if the balloon is deflating, and you're becoming aware of the deflation of that release of the air, different sensations, the flow of energy. Breathe in. Feel. As you breathe in, the whole body is being filled with the energy of breath, the chi. And as you breathe out, okay. So one of the things I would ask you to do, you can keep your eyes open also. Just observe this. Put your hands close as if you're holding an energy ball. Yeah, keep some distance between the hands. And as you breathe in, feel you're filling up the balloon. And the breath is going from the head to the foot to the feet, and it's filling up like the balloon. The whole body is filling up like the balloon. As you breathe in, feel that energy ball inflating, and as you're breathing out, it's deflating. Breathe in, inflating balloon, and deflating. Be aware of the sensations in your body, in your hands. Inflating, deflating. Right? And now, put your hands together, rub them, and run it over your body, all over the body. Just right. And now, move your hands and feet, stretch yourself, move yourself. And then, if you have your eyes closed, open them, stretch yourself, move yourself. Yeah. And if you have any questions, please ask questions. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Share how you're feeling relaxed and aware. Relaxed. Yes. Yes, that's the awareness. Yeah, that I'm feeling that I'm not taking enough breath inside. That's the awareness. And slowly, as you become aware, you that the capacity to breathe will increase. Yeah. Would you like to share how you're feeling? Feeling subtle, feeling relaxed and calm. It's a type of meditation. Yes, mindfulness is also a type of meditation. Anything that you focus on is meditation. My cleanliness, expecting same from others, that can be changed. Yes. Anger. Yeah. Right now, relaxed and feeling great. How do we keep calm when someone is acting in a vindictive way or just in the way that's disturbing? Remember, you're only focusing on what you're feeling. No one can act in a vindictive way. You feel that they're acting in a vindictive way. You just have to maintain your emotions and feelings. That is what you're practicing again and again. Thoughtless for those breaths. Yes. Okay, great. Any other questions anyone wants to ask? Or we'll stop over here. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Um, Dr. Rajiv, I have a
Yes,
question.
please.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, how long daily do we do this kind of technique, and then like how do we increase it further?
Uh, so basically, so you can do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even more.
Okay.
Yeah, I recommend people at least 5 minutes you do it. And the idea is not to get upset with yourself if you're not able to be mindful, because you are only being mindful that you're losing your ability to focus on a particular thought or feelings or being mindfulness. So you will lose it and then you have to come back. You lose it, and that's the practice. Is that clear? So you do it
Okay.
for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour. It depends upon you. But at least start off with 5 minutes and take it up to 15 minutes. That would be very helpful. But remember, even in that 5 minutes, you will keep losing your focus at least 15, 20, 30 times. So it is not that you beat up yourself. Oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You can never do wrong. You're just being mindfulness. You're just being mindful. And how do you know that you have lost it? That is also part of mindfulness.
Okay. And I had one more question. So
Please.
in the daily life, there are a lot of stressful situations, or you go through a lot of stress, running around and all. So how, in that case, how do I mean, if suppose I am stressed on some situation right now, um would should I be like practicing it right now to gather myself, or like how do I use that in stressful situations?
Yeah, so Aditi, it has to be practiced in two ways. Okay, this is what I tell people. I tell all the people that it is to be practiced in two ways. How do we practice? First of all, practice, do it as a regular practice. It is like you're appearing for the exams, but you don't study on the day of exams only. You study much earlier, 1 month, 2 months. So when you keep practicing a lot, then it becomes you get used to the practice, and it becomes an automatic phenomena. And when you need it, it will come automatically. You can't just practice it when you are under stress. Is that clear?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
practice
got it.
it so well that when under stress you can practice it, and that will have the most beneficial effects.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Any other questions?